Before meeting. Number 1. Inform concerned LGU of time and venue of meeting. For this meeting concerning polio, it is important to inform the following organizations: WHO, UNICEF, PRC, IFRC, IATF, and LGU, as well as other interested participating members and guests who will be attending the event.
Ito po si Nurse CHN at ako po ay yung supervisor ng Sabayang Patak kontra Polio na event na mangyayari sa darating pong week. At ako po ay tumatawag upang i-inform po kayo sa venue pati po sa oras. At ito po ay gaganapin sa Legazpi City Hall sa darating pong September 2, 2021. At yung oras po, yung oras po ay 1 p.m. Ipapadala ko na lamang po ang invitasyon pati po ang mga agenda through email. Okay po? Okay po. We hope to see you po. Thank you very much po.
Number 2. Send draft agenda to email list. Also, like every other meeting, upon informing the participants, it is also crucial that a draft agenda, as well as previous notes from the meetings held, if there are any, shall be disseminated via their respective emails. For this particular meeting, Sabayang Patak kontra Polio. Meeting agenda, September 3, 2021 at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Number 1, registration or attendance for 15 minutes. Number 2, call to order. Number 3, roll call or introduction. Number 4, additions or amendments to the agenda. Number 5, planning and intervention. This includes assessment of the polio outbreak in communities or region, procurement of vaccine supplies, development of communication materials or information dissemination, mobilization of healthcare workers and frontliners, and polio surveillance. Number 6, meeting notes from previous meeting. Number 7, announcement or questions. Number 8, setting of the next meeting date. And number 9, adjournment.
Sitting arrangements for 100 people, standing room for 100 more people. In the venue of the meeting, a proper and well-defined seating arrangement suited for 100 people standing and another 100 more people shall be prepared in order to make each participant feel comfortable and be at their best mood during the meeting.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Nurse CHN, yung nurse po na nagpa-reserve sa inyo last time. Opo, na-reserve po ba? Ayun, salamat po ng marami. Titingnan ko po mamaya. Wow, ay salamat po. Ito na po pala yun. Okay po, ito po yung pagdadausan ng meeting. Clarify ko lang po na 1 p.m. po ito gagamitin sa September 2, 2021. Tama po ba? Okay po. Maraming salamat po. At nakikita ko naman po na for 100 people ito. Thank you po. Yung isa po, sige po, pupunta na po. Ito naman po pala yung waiting room. Po. Okay po. Salamat po.
Number 4, sign at entrance to building and on door. It is also important that there will be appropriate signs posted in the building. Particularly, the venue will have visible signs at the entrance to the building and doors that must be clear, eye-catching, and simple to prevent any misunderstanding or miscomprehension to the participants of the event. Signs such as what location they are in, emergency exit, and direction as to where they will be heading.
How to join / contact cluster poster on wall. For interested participants, a notice of instruction as to what they must do if they wanted to participate in the meeting must be presented or posted in a wall easily visible to everyone. This includes clear procedures and details like contact information so that the participants will be able to notify the organizers.
Number 6, other posters on wall as space allows. Important signs such as but not limited to no smoking, turn off gadgets, no firearms, wearing face masks, and observe physical distancing must be posted on the wall where everyone can view it clearly and comprehensively. They must be on a proper format and in simple terms.
Map facing audience. Since the Legazpi City Hall is quite big, the map shall also be big enough for everyone to see and shall be proportionate to the venue. Since there is still a pandemic, proper social distancing shall also be indicated. Also, The sitting arrangement of the venue should be appropriately designed so that the participants of the meeting will be able to see clearly what is being presented. Different factors of the characteristics, roles in the meet, disabilities, etc. should be considered so that everyone will have the equity of privilege.
Number 8. Standard mobile amplification shall also be arranged or prepared before the meeting by coordinating with the IT staffs or any available technicians so that the meeting will proceed smoothly all throughout.
Araw po, tanong ko lang po kung meron po kayong amplifier, tapos mga microphone. Meron po, sige po. Mag-order po sana ako ng 2 amplifier, 2 wireless microphone, tapos 2 desktop microphone. Opo, kuya. Pasabay na po ng battery, pero may spare battery pa po para hindi po mawawalan ng battery. Sige po, sige po. Titinan ko na lang po. Yan, bibiling ko po yan. Salamat po.
These must be checked thoroughly if it is working properly and must always have a spare equipment just in case of an unprecedented occurrence of events.
Simultaneous translation, interpreter needed. We must have an interpreter for simultaneous translations during the meeting, so that the persons with difficulties in understanding the common language used in the event will still be able to understand and catch up with the meeting. This also aid in better information dissemination.
Ito po ba si Miss Linguist Interpretist? Ayan, magandang umaga po sa inyo. Ako po si Nurse CHN mula sa Barangay 107 at ako po ay naatasang mag-spearhead ng isang event tungkol sa polio outbreak, okay? Pero magkakaroon po kami ng meeting sa NGO. Pwede po ba kami mag-book ng appointment? Kakailanganin po kasi namin ng interpreter or translator para po sa iba namin makasama. Ayun, send ko na lang po sa email yung ibang details po. Opo. Sige po, maraming salamat po.
Number 10. Print 2 attendance sheets. Too much is redundant, too little is trivial. This is because attendance sheets during a meeting should always be complete, concise, clear, and enough. By having too many of such will lead to impatience and scornfulness of the attendees, while too little might not be enough to provide proper information. Hence, with the anticipated number of participants, we must make sure to secure at least 2 attendance sheets to maximize the space to be provided for each participant, including the required accompanying details like contact information, signature, time of attendance, etc.
Okay, we now have our attendance sheet.
Hard copies of agenda, previous meeting notes, maps, matrices, etc. on every other chair. Also, aside from the emailed or forwarded details of the event via email or SMS, a hard copy form of the agenda, previous meeting notes, maps, matrices, and other important information shall be provided on every other chair. This is again to ensure that everyone will be well informed, regardless the means, and that they will be able to navigate while the speaker is talking.
Number 12. Drinking water available. Aside from water though, any other desired food and refreshments shall be secured before the meeting as well. The number of participants shall again be anticipated and if possible, always secure backup ones in case of an unprecedented increase in the number of participants. However, this will depend on the allocated funds and shall be served in every meeting.
Arrange for coffee or tea and biscuits or any desired food outside after the meeting.
Lastly, appoint meeting note-taker from secretariat or assistant coordinator or participants other than the coordinator. He or she shall first and foremost be fluent or familiar and is a native speaker of the common language used in the meeting. This person shall also oversee the recording of the meeting as well.
Magandang araw po. Yes po, ito po si Nurse HN from Barangay 107. Yung makikikoordinate po sa inyo sa bayang Patak kontra Polio. Tatanungin ko lang po sana kung available po kayo sa araw po yan at makakasama po kayo sa meeting. Opo, kasi po kailangan po namin ng secretary na mag-take po ng minutes. Maraming salamat po, ma'am. We hope po to see you this September 2. Opo, thank you very much po, Ms. Rivera. Okay po.
During the meeting, call meeting to order. The presenter shall be able to make it clear that the meeting will begin. This can be done by any means: tapping of glass or stick, bumping the microphone, or simply talking directly on the latter. Hence, this person must have a clear, loud, yet soothing voice. He or she must be confident in order to grab the attention of the audience.
Number 2. Introduce chair and co-chair. Before starting the meeting proper, it is a must to introduce the chair and co-chair of the meeting if he or she desires to do so.
Nominate meeting note taker. The participants of the meeting must always choose the most capable and willing person to do it. It can either be the secretariat himself or herself, or anyone that is nominated to do so.
Number 4. Identify any donor representatives or press in the room. For one, only some important benefactors, press, donor representatives, and first-time attendees shall be allowed to introduce themselves shortly or be introduced by a speaker.
Let me acknowledge po the presence of the local government unit of Legazpi City, pati na po ang IATF ng Legazpi City. Thank you po for attending. Of course, the presence po of the Department of Health, the World Health Organization, at ang ating partnering agencies, the UNICEF, the Philippine Red Cross, and the International Federation of Red Cross. Thank you so much po for attending. I also want to acknowledge po the presence of the press and remind everyone that this meeting po is under the Chatham House rule, where the participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speakers nor that of any other participants may be revealed. That would be all po. I hope I am clear.
Another way to do so is by asking everyone to fill in the agency profile form that must either be submitted electronically or physically at the next meeting.
Mention any points of housekeeping. Addressing the points of housekeeping and running through relevant administrative points is highly essential to give everyone the idea on how the meeting will proceed. This will then open suggestions from the participants after the meeting, which may contain what they did not like about the housekeeping.
As what I have mentioned earlier, we will be going to discuss po the planning and intervention, and this includes the assessment of polio outbreak in region and communities, the procurement po of vaccine supplies, the development of communication materials or information dissemination, the mobilization of healthcare workers and frontliners, and the polio surveillance. And if anyone po does not like the approach, feel free to recommend improvements afterwards. But before we start po, I will again remind everyone na maglalast po ang meeting na ito for about 2 hours. And so before we start, please turn off po your mobile phone. So pag may narinig po ako na tumunog, automatically, siya po ang magiging next note taker for the next set of meeting. Also, remind ko lang po ulit kayo na mental presence po is required. Wala pong bad or stupid questions dito. Lahat po cater. And active listening din po is required. Okay lang po na mag-disagree at it is not okay to not speak up. Kung may mga hinaing o suggestion po kayo, feel free to voice out.
Number 6. Outline expected outcomes of the meeting. This will serve as a guide as to what are the things that they must talk about or actions every participant must take during the whole period of the meeting.
So, the expected outcomes at the end of this meeting is that we are expecting to have a list of challenges in the conduct of the program, a decision and action plan to reach the 95% turnout of vaccinated children, an understanding of the schedule of the program to ensure that the participating organizations will comprehensively cover the plans, and an agreed on next course of the action.
Ask agenda needs amending. Any arising concerns can be handled under any business, so make sure to accept minor changes if given the consensus. Large one can be handled in the next agenda.
I think it's a really good idea, but I think we should also consider the cons about this if we were to implement. Like, what will happen if this and that happens? Like, what if the time constraint doesn't? Okay, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I think we only have 5 minutes before moving on to the next agenda. For now, let's summarize all the major key points here. Let's start from the suggestion from the PRC, or the Philippine Red Cross.
Number 8. Manage the agenda. This can be done by briefing an NGO to address an issue or concern before the meeting to open for suggestions and solutions for the latter. This will make everyone aware as well, so as much as possible, put something simple as the first item.
I truly apologize for this, but I don't think we have enough time to be able to cover the things or the action points that were a problem or important in the last meeting. So let's again reschedule that in the next meeting. But for now, let's cover all of them again so we can have a refresher. So from the PRC, Miss Belen had said that there is a problem with the idea of the LGUs being able
Update partners on action points arising from the meeting notes of the previous meeting that have not been covered during the meeting. Being able to give actions to the unfinished concerns of previous meeting is necessary, since it might cause further problems in the future if not addressed as soon as possible. It might also give some of the present attendees a foresight of what will happen, resulting in them giving the chance to share their point of view on the given specific agenda.
Before we end this agenda, do any one of you have any suggestions, any opinions? Yes, from the PRC. I see. Yes. So is everyone on board on this? Does anyone have any objections? Okay, I see. So since we don't have enough information about the budget or how fast the processing will be, we will be researching this before the next meeting. So that will be the next agenda for the next meeting, because that will be an additional agenda. So.
After the meeting, first circulate and meet representatives of NGOs. The circulation of meeting the noted representatives of the NGOs shall always be scheduled in advance and shall be arranged at least 3 times a week on a specified and agreed upon venue. It can either be in the field, the office, and others. During the circulation, the improvements, concerns, other important matters, and how the meeting was conducted shall be addressed.
My name is Rivera. I am the nurse in charge of this program. So if it's okay with you, I will ask you if there are or there is any improvements we can make to how the meeting was conducted.
Ensure donors know that you are available to them at any time. Donors are highly essential for any matter, and to do that, We must be able to maintain not just a good relationship with them, but more importantly, a good and open communication to give the sense of security that we are always available to brief them anytime in their earliest convenience.
Madam, if you have any questions or clarifications, just feel free to contact me, okay? Here is my calling card. You can contact me through this number, or you can just email me your questions, okay? Don't hesitate to contact me. I'm always free to brief you or inform you of the things that you are not aware of, okay?
Number 3. Collect attendance sheets. A basic rule in meetings is to always collate and graph the attendance sheets to keep track of the participants who attended, including their accompanying information like contact details. This shall include the NGOs, donors, various institutions, etc.
Download latest data on NGO flash drives. This shall be secured with the consent from them and in compliance to intellectual property and data privacy. Also, this shall be highly secured and can only be accessed by the involved committee or organizers using flash drives or hard drives.
And finally, circulate meeting notes within 24 hours. Meeting notes are again not the minutes, but basically contains all the important details that was addressed during the talk, like the principal concerns. This shall be revisited to specific people for recapping the talk and other concerns.
Attached are the meeting notes from the meeting earlier today. Thank you.